Good morning, viewers at home. Welcome to the program, Superdawn. I am Vera Osopo with you on this Friday edition of the program.
And I'm Blessed Omono. Say good morning and welcome to another edition of the program. Good morning, Vera.
Good morning to you, Blessed. It's a Friday,
Yeah.
and what we do on this program really on Fridays, I make it a bit mild. It doesn't matter what the topic is, but we bring it down. And the World Cup is here. Did you see what happened yesterday?
Yeah, the match between
Argentina and Croatia
ended with a 3-0 in favor of Croatia. And we were surprised what happened to the almighty Messi.
Because he's not almighty. And so that was what happened. It was different. It was, I don't know what happened to him. Someone said, was he under his spell or what happened? It's as though Messi didn't go for the World Cup.
Messi gave his best as far as I'm concerned, and it's obvious that his best wasn't good enough. We really can't say what really happened there. And I don't want us to start lashing at Argentina just as we lash at our own Nigeria Super Eagles team. So whatever happened
No,
there,
anyone that didn't play as you want it to be, well, we'll talk about it because the World Cup is coming with surprises.
Certainly.
And Ronaldo's place has not yet been taken. He's the man of the time, the man of the moment,
Yeah.
and everything is just around. Ronaldo is clearing off Messi's record, and people wondering, is it there? Why can't we feel Messi? Messi, for God's sake. But yesterday's match was very interesting, and I said, if care is not taken, the way Croatia is going,
yeah,
something might happen.
we'll give them a try. So let's see how it
But
goes.
we are playing today,
Yeah.
and
Against Iceland.
yes, I must say here at this moment that Nigeria shouldn't be disappointed. The Super Eagles shouldn't let us down. I must give hope to people watching right now. But you can also follow up. We have Russia 2018 Pinnacle program that they will give you more updates on that.
Yes,
Even
yeah.
on the segment of this program, Superdawn this morning, sports segment, they will talk more. But today we're going to go through the papers as usual, look at the papers and take one or two stories from the papers this morning. And away from the papers, we want to look at female participation in politics. When we say it, it's essentially a part of a healthy social integrity when we're looking at female participation in politics. One begin to wonder why the U.S. doesn't have a lot of female in there. And if you want to put it mildly, the female has always been encouraged, even in Nigeria, to participate in politics.
Yeah.
But we want to see where someday, soonest, a woman will become president here.
We're looking forward to it.
We're looking forward.
It has happened before in the Africa. It
Yes.
has happened in the African country.
Yes.
We have Salif Johnson of Liberia. And if it can happen...
And then you can see the way she did it,
Yeah,
you know, and she's going about it.
Eight years before handing over to the new president now.
George.
So it shows that it can happen, even in our own country. Yeah.
That's it. It can happen. So we're looking at female participation in politics this morning, and we want you to be part of that edition, you know. And of course, we're going to go through also the sports segment this morning. There will definitely is football era, and they're talking about football, and I know they will talk more, especially for here today, especially today that Nigerians will be playing, and I hope some people are giving us tips on how to safeguard your heart while you're watching the match. But we pray that we keep encouraging that patriotic spirit will stay be on. Some people will be putting on their green today. Let's just encourage them and stay pray. Something must happen positively today. Well, we'll go on this break. When we come back, we'll take some of the stories making the rounds in the newspaper. We'll be right back.
Superdawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed. Now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. It's the newspaper review segment, and we want to start with the Nation newspaper this morning. This says here, Ekiti 2018, Fayose will be caged on election day, says Fayemi. Blessed. This is Kejao.
I really do not understand why the former minister for Mines and Steel Development will have to alter that statement. And it's not appropriate in this election period for him to say a sitting governor will be caged during the election. Well, it's all politics, like you and I know.
This is politics.
It's politics, yeah. So let's just see what comes out of the Ekiti 2018 governorship poll, which will be taking place next month, 14th.
Okay, but let me read what he says here. Continuation. APC will restore good governance. The All Progressive Congress governorship candidate, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has assured the people of Ekiti State of adequate security on July 14th, when they will go to poll to elect a new governor. Fayemi urged liable voters to come out and exercise their civic rights and not to be intimidated by Governor Ayo Fayose alleged threats to cause mayhem on election day. The APC flag bearer declared that the incumbent governor will be caged on the day of election, as he, Fayose, will only be allowed to vote and go back to his house in Afos. He said, we will ensure adequate security for voters on the election day, because if you are not well protected, the election will not be free, fair, credible, transparent, genuine, and acceptable. Well, he said Fayose cannot threaten or intimidate anyone on that election day. He's saying it as though he knows he's going to win. Mm-hmm. But we'll move away from that. We have this one. NLC gives candidates ultimatum on salaries. The Ekiti State Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress has urged candidates vying for the governorship seats to prepare to pay all salaries arrears within 3 months of inauguration. So if you enter, you must clear the backload of salaries.
It is highly commendable, if you ask me. And I also say here that the essence of any government is to serve the people, and the welfare of the people must be a priority to any government that is incoming to the state. So if whoever will win, either Olushola or Fayemi, whoever is coming on board, should put that as a priority. Workers need to be paid, and then so that they can have a wonderful time.
I think they need to sign that. And if you're coming in, don't give us excuses. You know the challenges that they are facing already. A politician knows, you know, and you've been in politics for some time. Clear off the arrears. We also have this: Benue leaders reject government ranches plan, and the writer says it's an attempt to grab our land. The Benue Social Cultural Group, the Unduzu Thieves, Idoma National Forum, and Umi Inigdidi have rejected the federal government's proposed pilot cattle ranches in the state. According to them, the plan is another attempt to grab their land and give to the herdsmen. And this is coming from them. So yeah, it's a plan. I don't know, but that's what they said here. We also have this here: policemen killed as shades protests in Kaduna and Abuja. And the writer says El Zanzaki trial stalled. A riot policeman died yesterday when members of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, otherwise known as the Sheds, protested in Kaduna. This protest followed their inability to access the court where their leaders, Ibrahim El Zanzaki, was billed for trial. Exits and entrances leading to the court located inside the Gabasawa police station were blocked. Reporters who arrived at the court as early as 7 a.m. were barred from the premises and only stood far away to observe the happening. I don't know why this happened, but policemen killed as sheds protest in Kaduna and Abuja. You can read more on that story. We also have here lawmakers under attack for budget 2018 alterations. And the writer says NLC, MA, and IYC Southeast senators angry. We have this story: Oshumale set for coronation as Ibrahim quits. And finally, from the Nation this morning, you say, I take this one: bank lose 12.3 billion to fraud in 4 years. That's all it would take from the Nation this morning. I'll move away from the Nation newspaper.
I'm starting off here with the Daily Independent newspaper this morning. Some more stories on the front page. I take them one after the other. And on the top of the Daily Independent this morning, shot stone inspector to death in clash with police. I quickly take the story. A police inspector was said to have died on Thursday during a clash between the police and Shiites who had come out to witness the arraignment of their leader, Sheikh Ibrahim el-Zakzaki. Sheikh el-Zakzaki, leader of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, IMN, had been in detention since December 2015 after over 300 of his followers were reportedly killed by soldiers. The army had accused the Shiites of blocking major roads being used by the army chief, Tukur Buratai. It was expected in court on Thursday and members of the IMN, that's the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, had trooped out in large number. And the story quickly continues on page 8. Let me quickly take that here. Members to witness his trial at the Kaduna State High Court, but armed security personnel were said to have prevented the group from accessing the court complex along Bida Road, Kaduna. The situation became violent around Ibrahim Taiwo Road as the Shiites painted the officers with stone and other dangerous objects. You've read something like that?
Yeah, I'm looking at what happened. I don't think, I don't know why you are fighting for a cause and you want to go violent. I don't think it's right to go violent. I think we need to take things calmly. You know, we know that he's been incarcerated for some time now, and people are saying, the Shiites are saying, he shouldn't be in there, nothing must happen to him, but must you, because there was a Scott day, must you begin to shoot or kill? I don't think that's right.
Well, the Shiite members have to stone a police inspector to death, which is highly unacceptable here. But we just hope that whenever this man will be going or over to the courts for any of his cases, the police should try to put some measures in place.
I think they did. If you see what happened, they refused them to go to the premises. They were not allowed to go around there.
Some of their members, like the prominent ones, should be given access, while the other members should be kept in a particular place to ensure that there is orderliness in the court. If some measures were being put in place, we won't have expected such a thing to have happened. And on the front page of the Daily Independent paper this morning, DSS arrests two Islamic State commanders in Abuja. I quickly take the story. The Department of State Service, DSS, on Thursday said it apprehended members of the burden cell of Islamic State West Africa, ISWA, in parts of the country following a special operation by its officers. Among those arrested are the duo of Bashiru Adams and Rufai Saju, who were caught at Kukutu village of Guadalada area council in Abuja. Another member of the outlawed group caught in the DSS net at Moda Lawa Market in Bauchi is one Umar Dogo. I really do not understand why we should be having some set of people coming out to say they want to create an Islamic state.
Well, we have all sorts happening, you know. This is a democratic system we're running. If it was a military system, you would not even dare hear it. It would not even happen. But it does happen in democratic system of government where people feel they want to have a country in a country, which is not possible. And some people feel, well, I want to have our own state. Independent, you cannot do that if we have a constitution. Everything we do is based on the constitution. Yes. So we should follow the constitution. All
right, we'll follow the rules of law and follow the constitution, as she said. Herdsmen killed 4 family members in Plateau community. Soldiers killed Fulani youth in Ondo State. Page 9 of the Daily Independent have that story. Nigerian banks lose 12.30 billion naira to fraud in 4 years. Find out more on page 40 of the Daily Independent. Responsible journalism necessary for good governance, says President Muhammadu Buhari. And finally, quickly I'll take this. 2 years of crime cracking by IGP Idris, page 24 and 25 has the story. And on the very bold caption at the bottom strip of the Daily Independent newspaper this morning, Oshomole will lead APC to grave. And that's coming from the opposition or People's Democratic Party, PDP. And the riders read, doubts party's ability to conduct rancor-free convention. I will use my experience to resolve presidency NAS relief, and that's coming from the former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole. And to make the race more interesting, Ibiri withdraws from the race. Page 9 has all this and more on the Daily Trust newspaper. Over now to the New Telegraph.
Okay, moving on to the News Telegraph this morning, we have the National Convention. Oshomole is APC chair already here in the papers. And right as it says, governor bow out of race for former Labour leader. Right now, if you go to Abuja right now, you will see at the Eagle Square, you will see stickers of billboard of Oshomole everywhere right now. It's being placed there. You know, the convention is today, and so election has started for them.
Yeah, and it goes a long way to show that the party cross borders totally thrown their weight on him and giving him the support. And they're saying that this is the man we want to drive the leadership of our party. So I wish him good luck, and let's see the outcome of the election.
Well, we'll continue with some of the stories. We'll go on a break now, and when we come back, we take more stories in the News Telegraph. We'll be right back.
Superdawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Take 1. Another name for hypertension is high blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force of blood pushing against the walls of arteries as it flows through them. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry oxygenated blood from the heart to the body's tissue. Hypertension is a major health problem because it has no symptoms. Many people have hypertension without knowing it.
Welcome back. We'll still continue with the New Telegraph this morning and the story here. And we have some of the writers. This says 2018 budget. Federal government borrow 1.6 trillion to fund deficit. And the writer says, Udoma, no provision for security votes for presidency. We also have this one. DSS arrests 61 S commanders and terrorists. Foil plots to hit Abuja, Bauchi, other states. We have here, strengthening training lowered depression. Strengthening training lowers depression. So in the papers, we have PDP, our members' lives in danger. Policeman killed as Shades protects El Zanzaki detention. NDDC accuses Akwa Ibom of spreading lies. Finally, pastor offer prayers warrior 4 million to adopt boy for rituals. Well, we don't know how true that story is. And I will take note, it's a picture story, very sad one, really. If you look at the building, Edo State evacuate people's teachers from dilapidated school. I don't know if they're going to get that. It's on the front page of the New Telegraph, where it's a picture story where you see a dilapidated. I don't know how those students are really learning in that kind of environment, where the windows are those old windows, the wooden windows are broken. When you hear about cholera, such things can happen there. No chairs, you just have 2 plastic chairs. The picture is really bringing...
And that's what an investigative journalism is all about, when we have such issues. But you will agree with me that there are some parts of this country where we have, or even worse than this, whereby some of these authorities are not even aware of it. And that is the major work of the press,
yes,
to get into this place and bring this thing out to the public so that those concerned will see and react to it swiftly. And I also say a big thumbs up to the Governor Godwin Obaseki, for a swift reaction of relocating those pupils and teachers to another place, while he has promised to work on the building. Okay,
I don't know if you say it's a swift reaction, but for that kind of building to be in that state up till this problem moment where we're reality, it is sad. I don't think we should have schools like that where the pupils are not in a good learning condition. I think we need to improve in that. But that's where we'll end this segment, the newspaper review segment. Up next is female participation in politics. We'll be right back.
Tips on balanced diet. Eat more of starchy foods, which include potatoes, cereals, pasta, rice, and bread. Choose whole grain varieties when you can. They contain more fiber and can make you feel full for longer. It's recommended that we eat at least 5 portions of different types of fruits and vegetables a day. A glass of 100% unsweetened fruit juice can count as 1 portion, and vegetables cooked into dishes also count. Fish is a good source of protein and contains many vitamins and minerals. Aim for at least 2 portions a week, including at least 1 portion of oily fish. Oily fish is high in omega-3 fats, which may help to prevent heart disease.
Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which has potent medicinal properties. Garlic is a plant in the allium onion family. It is closely related to onions, shallots, and leeks. It grows in many parts of the world and is a popular ingredient in cooking due to its strong smell and delicious taste. This compound is known as allicin and is also responsible for the distinct garlic smell. Allicin enters the body from the digestive tract and travels all over the body where it exerts its potent biological effect. Garlic is a plant in the onion family, grown for its cooking properties and health effect. Garlic supplementation is known to boost the function of the immune system. Studies shows that a daily garlic supplement reduced the number of colds by 63% compared with placebo. Cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks and strokes are the world's biggest killers. High blood pressure.
Welcome back. We want to look at female participation in politics this morning. And we have a guest in the studios. We have Abiola Folami. She's a female politician. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Viewers. You're welcome.
Well, we're looking at female. Gone are those days where they say the role of a woman is in the kitchen. The place of a woman is in the kitchen. We've seen that women are now into politics. Can you tell us how you started?
Thank you.
Was it rosy for you?
No, it hasn't been rosy. Politics is not an easy environment, especially for women. But women can play the role if they are dedicated, consistent, and ready. I have been in politics since, I think, in 1987. I joined when they started the Zero Party, then during the Babangida administration. And I aspired for councillorship as at that time. Though they didn't even give me the tickets, but I stayed there and I kept working. After that, the 1993 election came I was the youth leader in my local government, in Surulere local government. Formerly, I was in NRC. When Abiola came up in 1993, I decamped to SDP, and I became also a youth leader under SDP. And I worked so hard. It's unfortunate, we all know the story. Thank God, June 12 did not allow anybody to rest, so he's always honored. And anytime they say they are honoring Abiola, I believe they are honoring our struggle in 1993, because it was a great one for this nation. Then after that, you all know what happened again. We moved to NADECO. I was the secretary of NADECO in my local government. We worked so hard, always going out there. In fact, I was a very young lady at that time, and it was not easy for us. We were humiliated.
When you mean humiliated by the men, is that?
Oh, by the government as at that time. Anytime there's a rally, we go out there, we mobilize youths, because I was a youth leader, like I said, before I became the secretary of NADECO. We mobilize the youths, we go out there to participate in rallies. Sometimes we are beating blue-black. Sometimes, but initially I used to wear skirts to rallies. Until, because my parents are Muslims and they will not want you to put on trousers then. It was later I realized that if you keep putting this skirt here, one day you will be caught in the middle. So I started putting on trousers, sometimes shorts, just to make sure that you are able to run, because there is no rally we go to then that something must happen. The military must come in, the police must come to harass us one way or the other. But we were consistent until 1990, after the death of Abacha and MKO Abiola. We started another day.
So, but looking at this present time, do you think women fully in politics?
The women,
is there really a place for the women?
Since 1998, let's say 99, women started participating in politics. They came up, they started coming. But the problem we have as women, first, women don't have the economic power, because immediately after the type of politics we were playing then is not the same thing that what we have now. It was monetized, and when you don't have money, how do you go into primaries where people share dollars? So most of these women, even I, find it so difficult to come out to aspire for any position. In fact, because I find my way out of my main party, which was AD, to PDP. And, in the Afenifere, AD is a progressive party. And the issue of sharing money for delegates was not there. You were chosen according to merit. And if elections are necessary, to be shadow elections among your own people. But when I got to PDP, I saw a different type of politics where everybody is always money, money, money during the primaries. And most of these aspirants come on board. They spend a lot of money during these primaries. And by the time the main election comes, some of them don't even have the money to meet the general election. And that has been one of the greatest hindrances to women participation in politics. Apart from the fact that some of them don't get the concept, the support from their husbands. Some of them, the community, even the society is a bit hostile to women participation in politics.
Let me quickly ask you, in Namibia, women account for 44% of local government officials. Now, looking at our country here, we find out that we don't have much women going at the grassroots to contest for elected position. It could be the position of the local government chairman, it could be the position of being in the secretariat, trying to gain your grant from the grassroots. Why are we not having women participating even at the grassroots?
Yeah, actually, we have women. It's always, like I said earlier, at that primary level, a lot of women have been aspiring. But at that primary level is where the problem is. Even when our First Lady, Stella Obasanjo, was able to get that, the PDP to stop collecting money for nomination forms from women, women still find it difficult to aspire at that primary level. So that is where the problem lies. Then apart from that, the lack of will is also there among women A lot of women see it's a very dangerous environment. Like I've told you, I've been beaten before, severally. Not only in rallies, people have harassed me, I've fought with people. But there's a lot of women that can't go through all this because I started right from when I was young. So it was easier for me to know that this thing is not about enemyship, but it's about asserting yourself.
Now,
you understand?
Yeah, with what you've gone through and in your journey, why do you still have this passion in politics?
You see, politics is something that is inside you. It's inbuilt. If it's not there and you're just forcing yourself, even if you are given the position like some people have the opportunity to just pick them and put them there, you find out that they are not even performing, they are not really, some of them might even go to House of Reps, to the Senate, they give them deputy governors, they come out and they just fade out because it's not in them. It's inbuilt, it's physical, it's spiritual. No matter what you are going through, if you are a true politician, you will still be there. You will still be there. If you ask my children, they will tell you better. They say, hey, sometimes they will come and say, Mommy, you didn't go out for this, you have not been going to meetings. My son will tell you that, look, Mommy is not ready yet. Because they know what I've gone through, and I'm still there.
Okay. Looking at women in every part of the world continue to be. If you look even in America, where we look at them and look at how they play politics, you'll notice that women are few in politics. What are the things you think you've mentioned some things that discourages a woman from participating. What else do you think will discourage a woman from going forward in politics? And how can women help in politics in Nigeria? It's very important.
Yeah. I think one of the things when you are talking of the international, America is not a role model when you talk of women in politics. You look at countries like Holland, Denmark, you look at Germany now, and you look at so many other countries, Sweden, and some, even in Africa here, country. You have, like he mentioned, Namibia, you have Rwanda now, you have even in Senegal, in the house, in Senegal now, you have almost 50-50, you know. So, but Americans are trying. You have a list of women that are senators, this, that. It's just unfortunately our person could not emerge to win that election for the presidency, Hillary Clinton. That does not mean that the American women don't participate in politics. They really, when you talk of total support, they are few, but you know, the women are so aware. You have a total support situation. Are you getting me?
Okay, women are helping women.
They are really helping women. It's not like here we are still encouraging our women to know the importance of supporting women, because we have a lot of areas that is only women that can attend to it. We are looking at the equality bill now. Who is going to pass it? Because a lot of men has a wrong conception of perception of the issue of equality. They think a woman will be the same thing like men. That is not true. We have a lot of things that is wrong. Discrimination, you understand? And disparity. We send all our children to school, both female and female. Then when they want to employ, if you have 100, you will employ just only like 20 or 30 women. The rest, 70% is men. And all these children, we send them to school. There are people that does not even have a male child. So what happens to them? These are what we're talking about. In the police, where you have women that needs to get married, they have to go and inform the IG or this, that, all these type of things. These are what we're talking about. These are the violations we're talking about. These are the disparity we are talking about.
What are the critical, what steps we need to take in empowering women so that they can come out from their shelf and support
First of all, before we were saying that we've been fighting, we got the 35% thing. But even that 35%, if you look at the house today, both the upper chamber and the lower, you find out that the rate is so low. It's not
29 women.
Yes. You understand, to be precise.
Okay, there's a caller here. I will come back to you. Hello, good morning to you, Daniel.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Beautiful. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Mr. I found out that you say concerning women not participating in politics, things that are hindering them. What are you people doing now to empower them? Because we see that men have almost self-included capacity.
Thank you, Daniel. Yes, you heard the question.
Yes, I heard the question. Yes. We are working so hard. Like we have an NGO, like I have been working as a president of Lagos Heritage Foundation. The objective of this foundation is to encourage more women into politics, to train women on leadership, and at the same time to empower women. Because if we don't encourage them, if we don't train them, if you don't tell them what it entails to be in politics, they come in there and some of them get discouraged and just go back home. So we have been there. A lot of women are out there working with us, encouraging women, telling them that you can serve as, you are leaders. In fact, women are potential leaders because even in the house, we train our children. We train these children, they come out fine. That means we can do the job. And at the same time, you cannot have a home without a mother. That home will collapse. That is why we cannot run a country without women participation. Women are not going to become leaders of men, or they are going to be their partners. That is what happened from the beginning. When God created the world, he said, he created Adam, and he knew that it won't be right for Adam alone to tend to the garden. And he said, look, you have to have a helpmate. And that is what the women are saying in Nigeria. We are not saying we want to push the men away, but we want to come together, help you, so that you can refocus this country.
Okay, but before the caller called in, we'll ask a question, but there's another caller now. Oguyemi, good morning to you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Today, one thing women participate in politics, there's nothing bad in it. But when our women are doing nowadays in Nigerian politics, many of them are already just married. But because of their position in politics, many abandon their husbands. The husbands are already on top of the wall. So it's not even good enough for a woman to fully participate in politics.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
These are the parts
they feel on top of the world. They don't respect their husband anymore, and
I don't. As individuals, that is a general thing. It has nothing to do with women participation in politics. A lot of people, disrespect their husband, and they are not politicians. And a lot of men violate their wives. You understand? Not because is the profession that determines. What is happening when you are talking about that, it has nothing to do with, you don't have to have that fear, that phobia, that if my wife goes higher, I go down. No, if your wife goes higher, you work together and you move higher together. You can look example of President Clinton, the way he stood by his wife, despite he is a former president. A Nigerian man, some of them, not all, some Nigerian men will have started having fear that, if she now become president, she will take over the home. That is not right.
Okay, but the critical step towards empowering women, what should we do in politics? Yes.
Yes, first of all, we have to at least, this monetization must stop. Monetization is one of the major problems, because when you keep asking people to bring money they cannot afford, it will lead to corruption. And a lot of women have more conscience. Women don't want to go into so many things that men does. So because of that, they are more careful. So we need to encourage women by, trying to create a conducive atmosphere, internal democracy within the party, so that when there's internal democracy, people can participate in these primaries by just mobilizing your own delegates. And you know that these delegates will vote for you. Are you getting me? But situation where I have my delegates and somebody go behind me and start giving them $1,000, what do you think I'm going to do if I don't have that money? So people are slaughtered there. You can't move forward. So the only thing we want is a conducive environment within the political parties, internal democracy.
And let me quickly call your attention to this. We've seen women giving appointments in the past administration. We have more women in appointed ministers and the likes, and also this administration tried as much as they can. But I'd quickly like to ask you, what are the benefits and impact of women in governance, either in elective or appointive positions?
Yes, when you talk of appointive positions, it's a different ballgame, because when you want women to participate, you want them to perform. There are women that have passion for this job. Are you getting me? And half of the time when when politicians pick women for,
okay, Daniel is calling again. Hello, good morning to you, Daniel.
Hello.
Good morning to you. Yes.
Yeah, I would really like to make introduction.
Okay.
I want make this to know this country because women have been leading for a massive period of time and get any better results. So let's make this time and let's see what will come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for a beautiful suggestion. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. I pray many more men will be thinking like you. You see, the thing is, like, I will go back to your question. Most of the time when they appoint women, they tend to appoint women they know, women that will do what their own bidding. Are you getting me? And at the same time, some of them come out to perform very well. We have seen that in Nigeria. We saw the way Okonjo-Iweala was able to kept the economy going. Yeah. Despite the situation, Nigeria did not go into depression, recession. You understand? We didn't go into recession. So you saw what happened immediately after that, even though it was another woman that took the position. But what I'm saying in essence is that, look, they have to we have to choose women based on merits when it comes to appointing women for political or administration or government administration. Choose people based on competency so that you won't have the coming back and saying that, look, these people are not performing or they are not doing very well or they don't even look at other women. Because a lot of these women that are given a political appointment don't even care about what we are talking about. When we talk about 35%, they are not interested. When we talk that the child right bill they are not implementing it at the state levels, they are not interested. So many things we talk about, they are not interested because they feel it's the men that put them there. So that is the problem. That is why we as women, we even want to participate in choosing among ourselves to go for these government appointments. Those that we know that when they get there, they will perform, not based on the fact that somebody is a former minister's wife, you understand? Or because somebody is one person's girlfriend and you want to just pave way for them. Let it be among the women. We've been working, we have the National Women Council, now we have Women for Women. They are working so hard, you know. You see, a lot of things are wrong that we need to correct in this country. Some employers, they employ people, they will employ women, young girls. The moment they are married, you tell them to go because you cannot keep them, because you don't want them to go for maternity leaves. Why can't you provide places for them to keep their babies even when they have these babies? Why can't you make creche for them? Why can't they continue their life even when they are married? So because you notice that 80% of these women throughout the time of nursing babies don't have any stable jobs.
I'm going to hold you on there again. Chinedu is on the line. Hello, good morning, Chinedu.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. So my contribution on this topic is we are not against women getting involved in politics. But we are pushing these people. We should always understand the role of women in the family. It's true that both men and women they should contribute in bringing the children up, making sure that their home is peaceful. Women have more role to play. So men are not to go out and struggle to bring money to take care of the home. So women, they want them. So in a situation where you allow the women to be involved fully as men you do, who does the home of? Does that mean shop in the house, the leaders in the house help, cook and others need to cause a lot of problems in our family. So, what type of women in politics, how does the event trying to make the women involved in politics or marry the women involved in politics? Thank you.
Okay, Chinedu, you are saying their role is still in the kitchen, I guess. Yes. Heard what Chinedu said.
I think probably is echoing. I don't know.
No, but he said that. Okay, let me reiterate what he said. He said that a woman still needs to be in the kitchen because he said, hey, who takes care of the kids, the children? It's not that they don't want them to participate, but who takes care of your kids?
I will ask him the question. The women that are working, the educated women, the graduates, why are they going to school when they are supposed to be in the kitchen? What is the work of the kitchen? What stops a man from cooking? These things are things that you don't even talk about in 2018. Because now you have a lot of women that are working. A lot of women go out in the morning, even the ones that don't work in the corporate environment like you here, they are on the streets. This morning, if you go outside your gates now, you will see elderly women, young women putting their wares on the street, displaying it to sell. If not for Fashola that drove all of them away from Oshodi, what is the population of men on the street selling in Oshodi? So it's not, are they not cooking for their children? My mother was never a house,
full-time housewife.
A full-time housewife. She was into food selling. She was selling all through. There was never a time that we missed anything. And this woman, all our children today, they are all graduates. I don't know any one of them that is not doing well just because she goes out to sell. 80% of these people talking is their parents, mothers that took care of them. So I don't even know the problem. I think the problem is inside.
No, he said men are there working, they're out there, they should be working for them.
That is why I'm saying women are also working. A lot of women pay their children's school fees, they do all these things you are doing, and they are still going to work. It doesn't change anything. They say, I will go to work. I will cook for my children. I take, even when they were kids, I take them to school, bring my children back if I have the time. In fact, when my son was in school, up till he was in JSS 2 before I stopped picking him. In fact, it was a friend of mine that told me that, look, leave this boy and let him become a man. You are picking him and bringing him back. He doesn't even play with anybody. I said, okay, it's true. And I was still in politics. I was still working. So it has nothing to do. If women can combine roles, women are stronger. The way they think is they think much outside the box.
You feel you are gifted?
They're so gifted. There's nothing, the dialoguing, the negotiation, everything you need to keep a government or a home going, the woman has it. So the only talent that has not been tapped at all over the world is the talent of women when it comes to administration. Thank God, even in the Arab world, when they thought it's, when we think, okay, it's because of religion. If you go to countries like Iran now, you have female ministers, female parliamentarians.
Even in Dubai.
Even in Dubai. So what are we talking about? This thing is inside us. We just feel that, oh, I don't want my wife to be more than me. Your wife is not going to be more than you. Your wife is your wife. You are the head of the family. You are going to, that is the role God has given you. Nobody is going to take it away from you.
Okay, let me quickly ask you this question. Sorry, Vera. Let me ask you this question. Do we have enough women as role models to motivate women to go into politics? Now, we have quite a lot of them in the boardroom. I know of the chairman of First Bank, Mrs. Ibukun Aboshika. Such elite women don't come out for politics. And looking at such women, do you think we have enough of them to want to motivate other women to go into politics as role models?
Yeah. The thing is that when you are talking of, people always have this misconception. I hear a lot of people say politics is not supposed to be a full-time job. Are you getting me? So they look towards people like women in the corporate and the
like Fumi Alakija,
and the rest, that they are supposed to be the one. That is not true, because you see, these things, these politics you're talking about, is something that I said earlier. I said it's physical and spiritual. If it's not something that is inside you, by the time once you face, I've worked in the bank. The things you do in such area is different from the political environment. Politics is total woman management of human beings. It's not easy for you if you are not there from the beginning. Are you getting me? To really study people, to be able to, if you notice, politicians don't get upset easily with people. Because you know, they always look for the good side of people. When you tell a politician that this person is bad, they will say it's all right. You know, you people keep writing, especially the journalists, that the media, that this person is bad, this, that. You see, these people, they still go ahead in their political career. Politicians always look at the good side of people and they manage that good side and use it for themselves. Are you getting me? So it's really encompassing. I don't know how to define it. You can have your profession and still become be a politician. Are you getting me? But politics is a business on its own. That is why we have what we call political science. That it got to a point the Europeans, the Western world discovered that people must study politics because it's an art on its own. It's a science. It's beyond just coming from your profession. And you've seen what has happened to so many people that came from their profession to say they want to come into politics. They run out of the place after some time. Some of them don't even understand the intrigues of politics. They say it and they're afraid that, can I continue? Even the meetings, the board meetings you do in the banks or in the corporate world, it's not the same thing. Like politicians will go to 5 meetings, 6 meetings in a day and they are not tired. How many people can do this? Okay, can you wake up at 2 and they call you and say there is a meeting and you go for that meeting?
For a woman waking up at 2, how will the husband take it? Say you're going for a meeting, a political meeting. Because most of the meetings you hear people say it's 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and the rest. Is it really?
These Nutella meetings come up mostly during the election period, when the election is approaching. That is when you start having
okay,
people.
It's not all through
it's
from
not
January
all true. It's not all
December.
true. No.
Okay, but looking at, because we'll soon wrap up, looking at the way we are, when you started this discussion, you talked about money politics.
Yeah.
You talked about female not having, the women not having money to run if you want to run.
Yeah.
And before now you said your experience was integrity.
Yeah.
It wasn't money. The position was, if you can do this right, they give you the position. Now that it's now money politics, do you think women can really participate fully in this? And why do you think they need to stop that in this society?
Yes, first of all, it will help to encourage more people, not only women, but encourage more people of integrity, more people that are consistent, more people that are passionate to make us refocus and develop this nation to come into politics, irrespective of the agenda, if we demonetize the political system. Then on the area of the women, another thing I can say is that we have to be consistent. Let's just keep being there. Let's be consistent. Then the area of social responsibility. A lot of women don't really believe in social responsibility. There was a time I was telling a friend that, look, we have a program on Women for Peace initiative, and it's in Abuja. She calculated my flight, hotel, and she was like, what are you going to do? Are they going to pay me? I said, pay me for what? These are social responsibility that you have to participate in. When you're talking for Women for Peace initiative, where we want peace in Nigeria, it's way that we can go and talk to women at the grassroots, to talk to their husband that are creating problems, to please stop and cease fire so that we can move forward. And if the problem starts, who suffers? Is it not the women and the children? Because no matter how if the father ran away, if the woman has 8 children, she will want to back all the 8 to run, and that is where she will be caught up in the middle of the fire. So we don't want these things to happen. That is why we are talking about Women for Peace initiative. And you are thinking that somebody needs to pay you to do that. So women have to start participating more in social responsibility. You have to have one area in your life that you have passion for. It's not about having money to just buy cars, wear fine clothes, or my husband is rich, you want to show off your car more than the next neighbor. We have gone beyond that now. We need to help ourselves. We need to move forward. We need to work as a team as women and be passionate about it so that we can get there in this country, so that we can go there and sponsor bills that will better. If women has anything a woman is fighting for, is not fighting for herself. At the end of the day, you find that women will benefit, men will benefit, children will benefit, because it's all women thinking is from their husband to their children to the society. And that is the more reason I always tell people that you cannot have a home without a mother. We can't have a government without women participation. That government is not going to work. That is why we keep crying every day. Because
Blessed has a question for you.
In rounding up now, I'd like to ask you finally, do we have enough women groups who are supporting women into going to politics?
Yes, now we have a lot of women organizations supporting women. The latest is the Women for Women. They have the conference in May in Abuja. Women from all over the Federation, they were there. And we have so many other NGOs working. I mentioned my own now, the Lagos Heritage Foundation. Our purpose is to encourage more women into politics. Young women, we are talking to them. Don't say, oh, my husband will talk. Talk to your husband. Come into agreement with him so that he can help you as your partner, and you will be able to excel together and participate in Listen, it's not, politics is not just about going there to go and steal money. If you want to do business like Dangote, you can just go ahead and get your business and
not go into politics.
And not go into politics. I always tell people.
We must wrap up now.
A lot of people, I have grandparents that built houses all over Lagos. There was even, in fact, my great-grandmother houses were built when there was no Nigeria at all. So if she can walk to that level as a woman as at that time, she built her first house in 1905. So why should you need politics? So we have women with, I think we will do this thing for this country if we are given the chance.
Okay, and wrapping up, I want to, you to use this opportunity to advise the government and also advise men. You've done that before, but you can just do that again. And advise women how we can move this nation. The other caller said, men have failed. I don't know, but he feels that if you give a woman the chance, or give women the chance to handle this country. So your advice as we wrap.
Yes, I will first start with the women. I just want to plead with the women to please come into politics. It's not, you don't go in there, do or die like the men does. You go in there, you try your best, start from the grassroots, councillorship, chairmanship, and you will grow. And before you know it, you find yourself contributing to your own society. And that is what God, the role God gave women. We must be help partners, helpmates. Then on our husbands and fathers, in fact, my father was my greatest supporter, but it's late now. But I will just beg our husbands to please realize that we are not going to take the role of men in the house. It is not possible. This role is there. There's no way a woman is going to become the man and the man will become the woman. It's not possible. No matter how rich a woman is, the husband is still the head of the family. That is a foregone conclusion. Nobody's. But on the government, I would just want to appeal to the government to create a conducive environment for women to excel and make laws that will make it easy for women to survive, because women are the one, their children are the ones suffering. The child right bill is there, nobody is implementing it. Children are still on the streets. We need the government to help us so that we can get our children off the streets. We are not happy. Anytime I see a 7-8 years old child hawking on the street by 10 p.m. in the night, sometimes I shed tears. We have a country that nobody is happy. They should please help us. It's not about you and your family alone, it's about the nation. Collective developments.
I want to thank Abiola Falami, politician. I wish you success in the journey of the politics.
Thank you very much.
That some women at least learn one or two things about politics. Thank you so much for coming on this edition. And happy weekend.
Same to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome.
We'll go on this break. Up next is Superdawn Sports. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Superdawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.